properly and teach her proper embouchure and how to teach her how to make a noise from the saxophone. So first I'm going to hand you your new alto saxophone reed, and you're going to open it and just take it out and put the flat side of the reed in your mouth so we can wet it a little. Because if you use a dry reed on the saxophone, you're not going to produce the sound you want. So while that is in our mouth, I'll let you keep it in your mouth. You're going to take out what is called the mouthpiece. It's a black object that you use to blow through the sax and into the sax to make a noise. So what you're going to do with your reed when you feel that it's wet enough, you're going to place it on the flat side of the mouthpiece, on the side that has the hole, and make sure that it has a little tiny space at the top of it. So, let me see. Yeah, that's perfect. You're going to be blowing through that little tiny space into the saxophone. So next you are going to be picking up the ligature, which is a gold or can be silver piece, which you are going to be putting over the reed and over the mouthpiece, but you're going to have to make sure that it's untightened, because if you put it on when it's really tight, you could damage the reed. So, and make sure that you put the ligature on over the bigger side, so the more rounder side. And you're just going to place it over the mouthpiece and the reed. And you're still going to keep holding that mouthpiece in place. And the two screws should be on the side that the reed is on. So what you're going to do is you're going to tighten the ligature a little. You're not going to fully tighten it because you don't want it fully tightened. Just enough so the reed won't fall off. Okay, and next you are going to pick up what is called the neck. Can I see if you've done it? Oh, perfect. Okay, so next you are going to pick up what is called the neck of the saxophone, which is the golden piece of the sax. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the side that has the cork on it, and you're going to gently put the mouthpiece onto the cork side of the saxophone. So you're just going to use like a motion, like a little twist motion, and it should be just like halfway on, and the mouthpiece should be facing down from the neck. And while you do put it on in the future, like make sure that you have this down so this doesn't pop up, this part. Okay, so next you're going to take what is called the body of the saxophone. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab it by the bell, because if you grab it by the keys, it might damage it while you're picking it up, or you might drop it. So I'll show you how to grab it properly. So you grab it from the bell, pick it up, and then you can hold it like this in your lap. You can put the neck and the mouthpiece down for a second. And once you have this in your hand, you're going to pick up what is called the neck strap. So this neck strap is going to go around your head, and there is a little hook on it that is going to hook on the back of the saxophone to the little round hook on the back, if you see it. So you hook that on, and what you're going to do is you're going to pick up the neck of the saxophone, and you're going to put it in the top of the saxophone. So what you're wondering is, can you try putting yours in? Why isn't it fitting, you may ask? There's a little thing at the top of the saxophone that you have to take out first before you put the neck in. So this is what is stopping it from going in, because this helps prevent the saxophone not to be damaged in your case. So now you may go ahead and put the neck right into the saxophone. And there should be 2 screws at the back of the neck, right here. And you should be able to tighten them to make sure that this doesn't move at all. Yeah. Do you have two? Do you just have one? Okay, let me see. Okay, that should be good. And what you're going to do next is there is a adjustment strap on the neck piece, and you're just going to put the saxophone in between your legs for now. So how you hold the saxophone is going to go on the left of your right leg. On the right side of your right leg, sorry. So, and what you're going to do is, see how I can't really reach the mouthpiece, I have to go down like this, right? So that is why I need to tighten the neck strap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tightener and just pull it up. And I'm going to see where it shall sit on my body and see where it lines up with my mouth. So you should just be able to take your two fingers and pull it up. It might be a little tricky at first. Is that a reasonable reach for you? So that looks more secure on your body. So this is how you put a saxophone, and how you hold it is you're going to raise your right hand and make a C shape. So your thumb, it goes under the thumb, the little thumb holder at the back of the saxophone. It's a little black thing that you put your thumb over, and then your fingers are going to lie on the front of the saxophone. And then your other hand, your left hand, your thumb, there's another thumb holder at the back, but it's just a round black little piece. You rest your other thumb on there, and then your other hands go this side. And so this is how you hold a saxophone and properly put it together. So next we are just going to take the saxophone off for a second. And you're going to take off the neck piece for a minute and just place the body of the saxophone back into your case with the neck strap onto it. So next we are going to try to make some noises just out of this thing, out of the neck, because making a noise from this as a beginner is better to make sure that we can breathe properly and make sure we can make a noise out of this first. So what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to be sitting in your chair properly. So if I'm leaning back like this in your chair, it's not going to give me a proper breath support because I'm slumped down like this. I'm not going to be able to breathe properly. It's harder to breathe like this. But if I'm sitting at the tip of my chair with a bit of my butt on the end of the chair and your 2 feet planted on the floor and your back up straight with your shoulders up, you're going to get a more easier breath, and which you need to play the saxophone properly. So the saxophone, you need to be breathing from your diaphragm. So your diaphragm is your stomach. So if you find your belly button and put your thumb on your belly button, your rest of the hand, and then you breathe, you should be able to feel your hand move out. Sometimes it's hard for people who aren't musicians because they will breathe up here, but for playing the saxophone, we need to be breathing here so we get a better breath so we can have a stronger sound from the saxophone. Okay, so that's how you breathe. So next we're going to talk about embouchure. So embouchure means what way your mouth has to look like to play the mouthpiece. So what you're going to do is you're going to wrap your bottom lip around your teeth, and then you're going to stick your teeth out from your top, so you kind of look like this. So what that's going to be helpful for is you're just going to rest the top of your teeth onto the top of the mouthpiece, like this. But you're not going to hold it really tight. And see how much space I have from here to the tip of the ligature? you shouldn't have your mouth right like full on there like this. Or you shouldn't have too little. You should have like maybe in the middle. So what you should have is your top teeth on the top of the mouthpiece and your curved lips on the bottom of the wooden of the reed, like this. So once you have that, you're gonna close your mouth around the mouthpiece. So next, what we're going to that is the proper embouchure of a saxophone. So this is how you play also any other reed instrument. So if you were to go and play the clarinet or a tenor saxophone or a bass clarinet or any other reed instrument, this is the same embouchure for it, except for double reeds. So what we're going to do next is we're going to try to make sounds out of this. So taking that embouchure, we're going to put it back into our mouth, and you can keep that there for a sec. I will demonstrate. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a deep breath in and just blow into the mouthpiece. So you're going to try to make a sound next. So you might need to breathe a little more and take more of a breath into the mouthpiece. So it's kind of be more intense of a breath. Okay, so I'll demonstrate for you. So I'm going to breathe in. So I think what you're doing is you're like, that's what you're doing? Yes! So that is a great sound you just made. And I know it sounds really bad, but once you put the actual saxophone on, it's going to sound beautiful. So try one more so you can get more of a breath. Yeah, let's do it together so we both can. Yeah, and that is how you make a noise from the mouthpiece. So doing this will also just be like blowing it from the saxophone. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up our saxophone again. Remember just to hold it by the bell so we don't break any of the other pieces. And then once you have it, you're going to put your neck back on the way I showed you. And then twist it on there so it's nice and tight so it doesn't fall off and wiggle when you're playing, because that also can sometimes happen. And then make sure you always have the neck strap on. And then put it to your side and tighten it as it adjusts to your mouth. So you should have a nice like distance from here to your mouth. You shouldn't feel like you have to lean or lean back. Like the weight should be on the saxophone, not you. Okay. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to do that same embouchure and stuff with playing the whole saxophone. But you're just not going to play any notes at the moment. You're just going to hold your two thumb pieces on the back, and you're just going to try to blow through the mouthpiece with that deep breath I showed you, and we'll try making a noise together. So 1, 2, 3. So do you notice how your sound is a bit lower than mine? So try like raising your sax a little. Try it again. Okay, so that's a bit better. So would you like to try to learn some notes?
Sure.
Okay. So if you put your thumb on the back and then put 3 fingers down, that is going to be your G note, your G. On a clarinet, that would be a C, but this, it's a G. So back thumb and then 3 fingers on the front. And then blow through that and you'll notice that it will make a different note. Yeah, did you hear it? Okay, next we'll play an A, so which is your 2 fingers. So 1, 2, 3. one more finger up. So you are a little flat. So what that means for you is maybe try loosening your neck a little, or even maybe loosening your ligature. Because sometimes if your ligature is too loose or too tight, it's gonna create a more intense noise, which you don't want. So try playing a G again once you get that and see if that works. And maybe try putting less on your mouthpiece, like putting a little less mouth on your mouthpiece. Yeah, like that. See how that changed the noise? And then we'll try playing an A together to see if that solves the problem. So that was a little flat, but it was still closer to the note. Let's try playing a B again. Ooh, that was good. Okay, so that is how you put together the saxophone and proper embouchure and how to play some notes. So now you learned 3 notes. And what you can do from there is just G, and then you can just go down, and those are the other notes. So thank you for being here with me and teaching me, helping you teach how to play the saxophone. And now I'm going to show you how to put it back. So the first thing you should do is take your neck strap off, just unhook it and take it off. And then place it back into the saxophone case. And then you should take your neck off and then place this back into the case, because this is the most important part of the saxophone, so none of it gets broken. So you just set it back into your case, and make sure you put this little black top back onto the top of the saxophone, because we don't want anything getting in the hole or damaging it.
What do you do if it gets stuck?
If what gets stuck?
This piece here.
Oh, you just have to really tug on it. It should come undone. Here, I will help you with that. We'll just take that off and then put that back in there. And then make sure to put that black thing back onto the top of the saxophone. Here's this. And then you're going to use that twist motion to take the mouthpiece back off. And then place your neck back into the saxophone case where the other way. And then take the ligature off. And then the mouthpiece, and then the reed, and place your ligature back. And then what you're going to do is take your saxophone or reed case and put the reed back into the case so the reed doesn't get damaged. You should always make sure to put the reed in the case, because if you just put it in the case without any case on it, it will chip. And a chipped reed is not what you should be playing with, because it causes it to have holes in it, so you can't play through the proper hole. So you can take your reed and put it you can either put it in your case, or if you do have an actual reed case, you could put it in there. And then take your ligature and put it back over the mouthpiece. And then you're going to there's a little cover for the mouthpiece in your case that you're just going to put over it to protect it so it doesn't break. And then you're just going to place that in the little hole on the side, and then close your saxophone case, and there you go. That is how you play the saxophone.